Alright folks, this is one that I absolutely did not see coming. This past week, I was introduced to a new hard seltzer unlike any drink I've had the privilege of imbibing. That's right, I'm talking about the brand new Spaghettios hard seltzer. Yeah, you heard me right. This shit came out of nowhere, and I would know since booze news is basically the only news I follow, and I didn't hear a peep about this one before release. But it makes sense. To me, this is just good business. Chef Boyardee's been shoveling cheap canned shit for decades. Centuries probably, I don't feel like looking it up. But that was just canned food. Does food even belong in a can? I mean, yeah, sometimes food comes in a can, but booze? That's the thing I want in my can. If Chef Boyardee knows what's good for business, he'll probably have Spaghettios blow on the shelves by 2026. Now, I'm usually a beer or whiskey man, so I don't have too much experience with these hard seltzers, but I'll try anything with booze in it 10 or 20 times to figure out whether I like it or not, or more likely, just to get hammered. I have tried a White Claw a few times when I was trying to sober up, and it turns out this Spaghettios hard seltzer is even better. Not for sobering you up, I got fucking hammered off this shit, and that's what makes it better. We've always been a big Spaghettios household, so this is a product I can fully get behind. Whenever I want to reward myself after a hard day at the office, or having to listen to my wife yap for more than 10 minutes, I like to have a nice steak dinner. And obviously I'm not spending steak money on my fucking kid, so while he's watching me eat a juicy steak, he's eating a can of Spaghettios. And if I'm really feeling like Father of the Year, I even heat it up for him a bit. So at this point I know you're asking, well, what the fuck did it taste like? Was it any good? And I understand your anticipation. Trust me, whenever I find out I'm about to try a new kind of booze, I feel like a kid on Christmas. But not like my kid on Christmas, a kid whose parents actually remembered to get him something. When my friend handed me the can, I just went in head first. I find the best way to really appreciate a drink is to chug it down into your goddamn stomach as fast as humanly possible, grab a second one, and sip on that one while you wait to see how much the first one fucks you up. Sadly, I didn't realize that my friend only had one of these things, so I just did the chugging part. But I still got the gist of what we're working with here. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but it was a bit more tomato forward than I thought it would be. I'm talking tomato sauce. I'm talking this is straight up made with Spaghettios sauce. So love it or hate it, that is exactly the flavor profile you're gonna get. And goddammit, this drink is stiff, like Chef Boyardee's erection. You can even taste the hint of meatballs in there. This is when I checked the label of the can and found out that the flavor is actually just called spaghetti and meatballs, which makes sense because this is a drink that has balls. Big meaty balls. The can looks exactly like a normal can of Spaghettios, so make sure to keep it away from the children. And if they do start drinking it, just take the cost out of their allowance and lock the fridge from now on. I'm really looking forward to picking up a case and bringing it into work. At first my coworkers may think it's weird that I'm having Spaghettios at work, but then when they see that I have 7 or 8 of them a day, they'll think it's normal. That's all the executives get ahead, martini lunches. This is why Italy is such a prosperous nation. The Italians always base their culture around the finest food and drink. I checked the label and this thing even has protein in it, so without doing any research, I think it's safe to say you could live off these alone without any real food. I know bodybuilders say never to drink your calories, but obviously they'd make an exception for these. Unless they don't drink, to which I say, what is the point of building your body if your body can't live a little? How can you treat your body like a temple without always keeping a little bit of the sacrament in there? Some people think there's no point in buying Spaghettios since making spaghetti is easy as shit and tastes better. But to those people I ask you this. Are you going to make your own spaghetti and meatball flavored booze at home? I don't think so. And you think that could come out better than what Chef Boyardee has on offer? I've made my own beer at home, and I accidentally dropped a meatball sub into it, and let me tell you, not as good as you'd think. I'm hoping this is going to be the dawn of a new industry of hooch peddlers. If Dinty Moore picks up where Chef Boyardee left off, we're going to be at the height of alcoholic stews in no time. Now this is a brilliant way to transition canned cocktails from being the girly drink that college girls drink into the manly drink that college dropouts drink. This could also be a good starter drink. If your kid is expressing interest in having his first drink but you don't think he's ready for beer or hard liquor, this is an easy one to wean him onto. Just give him this alongside his regular Spaghettios and he won't even know he's getting hammered. We could even have Campbell's get in on this shit and put booze straight into a soup can. Drinking booze out of a soup can is basically the same thing as drinking booze out of a thermos, and anytime you see me drinking out of a thermos, that is what's happening. In fact, I have a thermos of booze with me in my car in my work parking lot while I record this. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is definitely a good time to put all of your savings into Chef Boyardee. There is no way a product like this could fail. I predict this is going to be so goddamn popular that Chef Boyardee will completely stop selling food and move entirely into the beverage space by 2030. Have you ever seen Chef Boyardee? Something tells me selling canned booze is the business he's been trying to get into this whole time. It makes sense for his market. You think Italian men are more likely to buy shitty, cheap canned spaghetti or shitty, cheap canned booze? We both know the answer to that, so there's nothing wrong with it if we both think it. I tried to do some research for this video, and it looks like Chef Boyardee still has this thing on the down low. I'm not seeing any announcement or news about it, so my friend must have gotten some pre-release prototype or some shit. Even the Spaghettios Twitter is quiet about it. I just texted my friend to see what's up with this shit, and it looks like he's telling me that it was just a regular empty can of Spaghettios that he put red wine and whiskey in. Huh. Fuck.